Before I jump into this video, I want to make sure that I say that the reason I'm going so much into breaking down all these different words is because the patterns that our words do have in them is so subtle, yet affects everything on such a massive way that until we truly understand how they're not necessarily used against us, because some people don't know that they're doing it, but some people do. So they're being used against us, but at the same time they're being used with us at the same time as many of us are just so unaware of how they truly process through your mind. So I'll get deeper into what I mean with all this stuff, of course, the more and more people ask questions and need specific things explained. Because when your heart's open, the only thing that matters is being as true to yourself and others as possible. So I'm going to get into the words that go along with the idea of money. Some I'll leave out because they have other ways to use, but they always apply to whatever specific case that you're using them with. Like the word interest. Like you could have interest on money, you got interest in something, but I'm not going to go into that word in this video because there's other things that I will include along with that. So this is the video on money words. Now, I'm not trying to poke the bear, but unfortunately, we do have a serious problem with the way we've used money. So therefore, money has become the route to evil because things that wouldn't be being done otherwise are being provoked and done for simple means of money. And so much is being caused in a negative way that if we don't get a hold of ourselves, that's going to be our demise overall, because people are not understanding that they themselves are the valuable part. The money is just provoking you to do things. And if you could get past that completely and quit saying, oh, but that's how we do things and that's how we get people to operate, because an idea of value should never propel you to do something wrong. So here we go. The first word I'm going to jump into is finance. Now, it's a form or force, identified notion, activated or active notion, concept expressed. Think of FINA for final. It's FINA, fin, active, as a notion, concept expressing. It means it's really nothing. If you add F and I, 6 and 9, you get 15, which is O. You add N and A, which is 14 and 1, you get another 15, O. So you get two big O's, nothing. And then N, 14 plus 3 plus 5 equal 22. So you have 0, 0, V. So you have nothing, but you're making it vital. With the idea of finance, how we think that money is what we finance things with, it's basically saying a big nothing we're making vital. It's right in our face. Almost like when you finally see that this is in everything, we'll understand that we can have a good laugh at ourselves and start making it right with nature, with each other, with everything we've done wrong in our pasts and everything that we could possibly be doing wrong that goes into our future. We can change that now if enough people care. So there's finance. Now, since I did break down how F and I equals 0 and N and A equals 0, now I want to move down to the word poor, because now we have P, the 16, placement. Now, two more zeros, or O's, 15, 15, P-O-O-R. We have 16, 15, 15, and then 18. 18, R, is the active here, or the reference, and P is the placement, or active form, or active familiar. So AF would be 16, or P is placement, or potential. So P-O-O-R means placement, ongoing upon itself, reference. So it's, or potential of ongoing upon itself reference. I feel poor. Like in the word finance, with the F and the I being O and the N and the A being O, two big nothings making vital. Now in the word poor, we're saying the potential two big nothings as a reference. So if you feel poor, P-O-O-R, it's like saying that you feel less than because of something outside of you. You're giving a potential ongoing reference to something else outside of you. You're never poor. You only feel it and think it without the idea of money or finance or things like that. And those are only things that are taught into you because we haven't learned to actually work with nature itself, not with people. Because people have the intention to take advantage of you. Unfortunately, that's true. And once more of us just admit that and see it's been being done in massive ways, boy, oh boy, can we have some changes occur. So, go from finance to poor. Now think of the word rich. R-I-C-H. 18, active here or reference, identified, concept here. So whatever it is, rich in flavor, rich chocolate, he's got a rich lifestyle. Or we think having a lot of money, paper, or imaginary digits is rich. So reference, identified, concept here, rich. You'll see that almost every word is a spell on your mind or a vibrational pattern that you believe to be since you were taught it in a way that you either saw it, heard it, or were told what that sound meant. So, moving on to the next words, we have things like coin, a concept, ongoing, identified notion. So when someone coins the phrase or a coin, so that we co-identify a notion, a very simple thing, unseen, ongoing, identified notion, coin. Not even there. Now, move into a word like bank, a base, active, notion, kinetic. Now, if you have a sea bank or a bank near the water, that's where the transaction between land and water take place. Now, in your mind, when you think of a bank, you are going to somewhere where a base, active, notion, kinetic takes place. See that a bank is just another magic word in your head. So you have to go to the bank for money. Now I'll just go right into the word money. The thing we all see the same. It's not one I, because it would be M-O-N-E-Y-E. It does matter how things are spelled, because we are under spells. People say that and get it, but don't understand how deep it really goes based on how we learn things. So the word money, manifest, ongoing, notion, expressed as a vital identity. Money. It's the one bottom line expression that we vitally identify. When you stop on the money or on the dime, it's like, say the word dime is a D, so to and through which the director, the direction or the directing, identified, manifested, bottom line expression again. So when you stop on the dime, that's why it's 10. It's right in tense, just coming into tense, the dime. So then when you have a dime and you have the word like money, it's the one, M-O-N, manifest, ongoing, notion, and even has the word one in it. It's the manifested one that we all vitally identify. Like I'm saying, when you speak words the way they actually are spelled, you understand that there's no way around seeing what they mean. We use them in certain ways, but they mean specific things. Like money means the one we all agree on, or where we stop, where things stop. One I with an E on the end would be expressed, vitally identified expression. It would be another one. That's why we see out of our I. It's not EY. We put EY on something when it's expressed and then vitally identified where it's at. So money is what stops us. When you stop on the money, when you are right on the money, when you stop on the dime, those words have more powerful effects than anybody really, really understands. And it sounds like stupid and silly to some by hearing that, because they're so used to seeing such amazing things with things that baffle them or things that boggle their mind with special effects. But those special effects take them out of what is real and what is projected. Like in a human body, we have things that we're supposed to be doing on this planet, and there are things that distract us from that, and most of us are just heavily distracted and don't want to hear that shit. But this has got to be a issue that we all start pushing, or we're not going to be going very far together or individually at all. All right, back to what I was saying. A word like check, a concept here expressed, concept kinetic. CHE is like chi, but in motion. It's being expressed. CHE as a concept kinetic. When you check something into the wall, or when you put a check on something, it's right and up, a check mark. But when you give out a check to somebody, when you write a check to somebody. You're giving them a piece of your energy, or what you think is yours. Or when you check them into a wall, obviously. Or when you put them in check. So when you live life check to check, it's almost like playing a game of chess. You get put in check, you've got to move. You get put in check, you've got to move. And eventually, you get put in checkmate. So move on to another word, because another word that is very much like that is mortgage. Now, what is a mortgage? We all know, or at least many of us know, that M-O-R-T, mort, has to do with the idea of death or dying, mort. Now, gag, or G-A-G-E, within the expression of a gag, it's almost like they're saying, we're laughing to death at you, or you're going to die gagging, or manifest ongoing reference, plus active generated expression. At the end, you have age, which is a time combination of words or letters, you know what I'm saying? A-G-E, age, something that actively generates expression. So it's a time idea. So it's like something that's going to kill you and gather up over time. The word mortgage is not a good thing. Stop worrying about paying somebody for the right to live. Just start living without all these conveniences that you don't need, that you have to rely on somebody else for. Another word that's sort of laughing in our faces is the word cash. Some people are going to cash in on you, and if you chase after cash, that's what you're looking to do. C being the concept active subject here isn't real either. As you can see, there's a catch to it, because cash is something that you chase after that doesn't do anything for you except give you the idea of paying for things that you don't need, because nature has already provided. Now, move on to the next word, bill. B being the base, I being identified, and L being as it lie. Two L's make an X. So it would be the base identified center thing. It's what's going to make you sick, a bill. When we use it in that kind of terminology, it's what's going to make you sick. And that's not to rip on any people named Bill, because I know a lot of awesome people named Bill. It's just the way we use our words is powerful. Now we'll move on to the word taxes. It's plus access, but with an E instead of an I. Something that we express ourselves with, or to have access to. Plus active, centered, expressed subject, or just tax is plus acts, something we center ourselves on, or something that you have to do. It's not a coincidence that the day you have to have your taxes done by is 4, which is D, and 15, which is O. You do your taxes, and it's when your taxes are due on 4/15. See what I mean? These things aren't just coincidence. They're beyond magic. They're beyond the concept of what people find funny. It's just sometimes it's cute and sometimes it's freaking scary. And no matter what we do, until we actually grasp how deep the power of our language is, we're never going to get anywhere, because people just don't care enough. And we've got to open our hearts to the people that we know to get them to care enough, to get others to care enough. If we want a world that is working together, we have to care about each other. Simple as that. Now, the word spend. Subject, potential, expressed, notion, direction. Like you can say D is the dia, the thing in which we work through, the doorway. So subject, placement, expressed, notion, through which we do. To spend yourself, to spend your time, to be spent, to spend money. Like when you think you are spending money, you have the idea of losing something, and you're not losing anything. I'm just trying to make a point that the idea of exchanging some paper or plastic or whatever for something you necessarily don't need is getting to be more than what's stopping us from moving forward. It's keeping us not only in place, but we're moving backwards. And nature doesn't work that way. Nature needs to move forward. And if we are the plague, we'll get wiped out. Now, another word that is sort of magical in your mind is currency. Because when we talk about current, it's the way energy moves, the concept, unit, as a reference upon itself, expressing the notion plus. So it's the current, like the wind in the current of water and those kind of things. So when we say currency, it's in which the way we move our energy. So when we tie all these ideas to money and to finance, it's just something in our heads that is so deep that I'm trying to put so simply. And I know that many people will be like, I don't need to hear this stuff. I know this already. Or I can understand what he means, so what? It's like, it's holding you in place if you're still checking in your wallet for your cash or for your card. I mean, you're literally living a fake life held by an idea that nature never intended. We've got to do something about this for ourselves, for our future, for our children, everything. There's really no other choice but that anymore. So that's it for this video. Until next time, peace and God bless.